Welcome to episode 5 of 10. Last episode, we studied supreme excellence in warfare. Now learn the power of foreknowledge, knowing yourself and your enemy to achieve victory. Let us begin. For millennia, my counsel has guided leaders through conflicts, both great and small. But if you remember only one thing from my teachings, let it be the principle we're going to discuss today: the absolute necessity of foreknowledge. You see, this is a matter of life and death, a road that leads either to safety or straight to ruin. Mark these words, really let them sink in. This is my supreme teaching. It's the very bedrock upon which all victory is built, and it's not some mere suggestion. It's a law of conflict, as unchanging as the seasons. Everything else I teach, well, it all flows from this one powerful truth. You have to understand this. So many people believe victory is forged in the heat of the moment. You know, with the clash of steel. They couldn't be more wrong. Victory and defeat, they aren't decided on the battlefield. No, they're decided in the mind, long before the first blow is ever struck. Think about it. Before the armies even begin to march, the wise general is in his temple, carefully weighing every single factor. The fool, he just rushes onto the field, trusting in brute strength or worse, luck. It's this discipline of the mind, this dedication to calculation that separates the winner from the loser. By observing this alone, I can tell you who is going to win and who is going to lose. Now, before you can even hope to understand your adversary, before you dare to even dream of conquering him, you have to undertake a ruthless, honest assessment of your own position. This is the first half of the whole equation, and you absolutely cannot skip it. So, you have to ask yourself this fundamental question. And the answer, well, it isn't found in just counting up your soldiers or your chariots. No, true self-knowledge comes from weighing 5 constant, universal factors that govern every single conflict. These are the scales. First, the moral law. Are your people on your side? Do they believe in what they're fighting for? Then there's heaven, the conditions, night and day, cold and heat. You also have to grasp earth, the terrain itself. And you must assess the commander, his wisdom, his courage, his strictness. And finally, your method and discipline, your organization. A leader who masters these 5, he'll be victorious. The one who knows them not, he will fail. It's that simple. Okay, so once you've looked inward with an unflinching eye, you have to turn your gaze outward. See, it's not enough just to know your own strength. You must uncover every single aspect of your opponent. The second half of the equation now comes into focus. And remember this critical truth. Your opponent is not going to just hand you his weaknesses on a silver platter. Not a chance. Knowledge of the enemy has to be seized. You must compel him, force him to show his hand, to expose his vulnerabilities, to your own cunning and your own pressure. So how do you do this? Well, you scheme to figure out his intentions. You rouse him to see how he reacts, to learn his patterns. You probe his defenses to find the cracks. You have to carefully compare his army to your own, factor by factor, so that you know exactly where his strength is and, just as important, where it isn't. This is how you learn to avoid his power and strike right where he is weak. The consequence of this knowledge, or, the complete lack of it, is absolute. This isn't just about a minor advantage. It is the sole determinant of your fate. Victory, defeat, or utter ruin. It all hangs in the balance of what you know. And the outcomes here are stark. If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you won't be in danger in 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, well, for every victory you gain, you're also going to suffer a defeat. But if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will be destroyed in every single battle. Those are the only 3 possibilities. So the big question is, how do you get this vital information? Let me be clear. You don't look to spirits, and you don't try to divine the future from patterns in the stars. That kind of thing is for fools. Foreknowledge isn't gained by chance. It's won through deliberate, careful, and exclusively human means. Foreknowledge. It's the specific intelligence about your enemy's plans, his strengths, and his weaknesses. And it can only be obtained from other men. It's this information and this alone that allows a wise leader, a good general, to strike, to conquer, and to achieve things that are far beyond the reach of ordinary men. And to get this foreknowledge, this most precious of all things, you have to skillfully use the 5 classes of spies. They are your eyes and your ears in places you yourself can never be. You have to use local people, enemy officials you can turn to your side, and even captured enemy spies that you convert to your cause. You'll use some of your own spies to carry false information to mislead the enemy, and you'll rely on your surviving spies to bring back the truth. When all 5 kinds of spy are working at once, nobody can figure out your secret system. This is what I call the divine manipulation of the threads, and it is a leader's most precious faculty. Look, the nature of conflict hasn't changed, not one bit. Your battles today, they might not be fought with chariots and swords, but the principles of victory, they remain exactly the same. So I'll leave you with this. In your ambitions, in your career, in your personal struggles, who is your opponent? And more importantly, do you truly, ruthlessly know yourself? You have to make your calculations, because the path to victory is paved with foreknowledge. That was true then, and believe me, it is true now. Knowledge is power. Prepare for episode 6, where tactics flow like water, adapting to every circumstance.
This has been another dispatch from the Dead Expert Society. The dead have spoken, but what say the living? Let us know below.